75. Friday will have a high of 75 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
College Basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the Big East.
Zips baseline. What a shot. The reverse layup goes as he hits the deck. That was a wild shot for his first field goal. Tough reverse layup.
As the fourth-ranked Connecticut Huskies travel to Milwaukee to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles.
UConn and Marquette. Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by. On my mark.
You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even try, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live
live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN. Thank you, Little Cash, for the intro. You know we are ready to go. A lot of stuff to talk about on the docket today. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. The Red 70s phone line is in full effect, ready to go. As always, on a Wednesday, we got Jeffrey in the building. Jeffrey, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah.
You got napped and ready to go, and you're energized. You don't have a Coke or anything in front of you, but you okay? You ready?
Yeah, I just got some breaking news.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it in just a second. Jam and Jimmy in the house. How you doing today, James?
Doing great on this Wednesday, dudes. Sad news, though. Last Wednesday for me here with you guys. They are moving me to the morning show. So everybody catch me in the mornings with Coach Hale.
There you go. And, I noticed something about you. You said you were letting your hair grow out, but then now you got the mohawky going on again.
I had to bring it back, man. I hated looking at myself in the mirror at that thing that I called a mop of a haircut on my head. It just had to go away.
Yeah, what it was is he was going on the morning show. In the morning show, they're definitely a mohawk type of style at that show. So
totally
that's good.
Friendly for that one. It'll fit in with everybody's bald haircut.
Perfectly. I would say perfectly. So congratulations on your upgrade. Now you don't have to listen to me and Jeffrey any longer. You can go listen to those guys. Breaking news. Yeah, we got to share it.
Yeah, we do.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah, Lou Holtz
passed away.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the man. 89 years old, born on January the 6th, 1937. And just a sad day. He's one of those guys, a fixture of college football, a fixture of American sports. He played at Kent State as a linebacker, 1956 to 57. Let's just, I'm okay with doing this. I'm gonna read where he was a coach at.
Yeah.
He started his assistant coaching career with Iowa in 1960. From 61 to 63, he was an assistant with William and Mary. He went to UConn at 64 through 65. South Carolina assistant, 66 and 67. He coached at Ohio State at 68, went back to William and Mary for 69 and 71. North Carolina State at 72 and 75. And then he went to the New York Jets in 76. Arkansas, he was 77 to 83. University of Minnesota, 84 and 85. And obviously the big one that everybody remembers, 1986 to 96, Notre Dame. And then 99 to 2004, South Carolina. His college overall numbers, 249, 132, and then 7 ties. NFL career didn't do so well, 3 and 10. So, was a definite college coach. Bowl games, he went 12, 8, and 2.
He was never at the Redskins?
No.
Okay, I must have been thinking Jets. Yeah, okay. I was thinking it was Redskins, but I guess not.
No, it was not the Redskins. Won a national title in 1988.
Big year.
And in 1970, won the SoCon Conference and the ACC in 1973. And then the Southwestern Conference in 1979. He was a 2-time Paul Bear Bryant Award winner in 77 and 88. 2-time Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. 2-time Sporting News Coach of the Coach of the Year. The Walter Camp Coach of the Year. The Woody Hayes Trophy, 2-time. ACC Coach of the Year. Southwestern Conference Coach of the Year, the SEC Coach of the Year in 2000, and then in 2020 got the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So Lou Holtz passed away today, and got any Lou Holtz stories that you remember? I know that, for a long time he was a fixture in college football. Him and Mark May used to be there all the time, and just a great guy. It's a very sad, motivational speaker. Would go and travel the world even after or during his broadcast years, during the off season, would do coaching clinics and motivational speaking, and just a great guy for, everybody. Everybody loved him. Even his lisp that he had, you know, it was a memory. It's a thing that when you hear, you know, you would hear him talk. There would be, you know, I know like Frank Caliendo and people that do the, you know, they try to act like them or whatever. I knew that there used to be a person that used to be on the radio that they used to call fake Lou Holtz that would call in, and he would sound somewhat like him. Wow. And, you know, it's just like Fake Shaq. There's a Fake Shaq that they do. So, you know what I mean? So
the guy from Sign Out Live does with Shaq.
So, they, you know, they do all of that, you know, kind of like what we do at Coach O or whoever, but, you know, not making fun of him, but, and you know, but just, you know, it's one of those things where you can imitate him and be like him. So, what do you remember most about Lou Holtz? I mean,
so we had season tickets to LSU games, and we would travel to Baton Rouge, and then we would go to games, and we played Notre Dame like every year for a little spell there, and those are the lean years for Notre Dame in the mid 80s. And then he took over for the Notre Dame coach. And I really didn't know anything about him, but my dad knew, you know, Arkansas and the Minnesota stuff mainly. That's what my dad talked about. Mm-hmm. And he stopped that rivalry between LSU and Notre Dame. And it was a late season rivalry right after the Alabama game.
Yeah.
And that was stockpiled up at the end. You know, November was crazy for LSU. Mm-hmm. And we handled them because they were in their lean years.
Yeah.
And Lou Holtz, man, he just came in, independent schedule. He just did what he wanted to do. He got the Miami, the Florida States on the schedule. Of course, kept the USC and everything. And you know, he turned that whole program around. They were not seeing the light of day of the top 10 ever before that. And then, 79, when Joe Montana left, I think that was pretty much the dark years for Notre Dame. But, I have a buddy of mine. He's a super Notre Dame fan, and he's very saddened by this, and he lives in Arizona. But anyway, no, I remember him, like, grabbing people's face mask and, you know, like, getting all stern on them and everything. He wanted guys to produce.
Yeah.
And you either got to get on the train to win, or you don't. You know?
And he was at the most 5'8", 115, 125 pounds.
Yeah.
But he would give it to those guys for sure.
He would.
You know, and that's what you love about him. Friend of mine, Wade Wilson, he's a listener, a big Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
You know, really loved him.
Yeah.
And they do. You know, that's the thing about it. When you have a legendary coach, I'm sure that as, you know, as life moves on, we're going to have more and more coaches that were legendary to our, you know, universities. Yeah. And, you know, it's just a sad day, but it's part of life, you know, but you can do your best in remembering them and definitely showing honor and respect. We're going to go to the Red 17s phone line. We got Arnold on the line. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
We're doing fantastic.
I wanted to call and say something good about Coach Holtz. I liked him even when he played Alabama, when he was at Arkansas before Arkansas became a SEC school.
Mm-hmm.
But he would wear me out watching him walk that sideline. The whole entire game, the cat was moving. And then the funniest thing I ever heard him say was that, always remember, tell your husband or your wife, should you pass, to have at least 6 friends so your wife don't have to beg for pallbearers at your funeral.
Oh.
And that stuck with me because he said that a long time ago. I didn't like him a lot at Notre Dame, but, you know, if you look at it, he brought Notre Dame back from after Air Parsegian had already left. He come in and they won the national title with that bulldozer Jerome Bettis. And that was they were bad to the bone.
Yeah, they were.
But anyway, I appreciate the time, and y'all have a great day.
Yep, thank you so much. We appreciate you on that. You know, and that's the thing, like when you would see Notre Dame, they would have all kinds of players. You know, I remember when they played Alabama, obviously Steve Berline, whether he was a superstar or not in the pros, he definitely got in the NFL. And, you'd always remember those guys. And like he said, Jerome Bettis and Ricky Waters and, Rocket Ishmael, all of those kind of guys that came through Notre Dame, and Tim Brown. I mean, what a fantastic player he was. And obviously, there's some millions of, or at least hundreds of guys that I'm not mentioning, but Joe Montana, I'm just talking about Notre Dame players that, would come back, and especially when Notre Dame was being brought back and then they finally won, they were the talk of the town. And Notre Dame has since all of that, they've never went into the grave. They've never had, it's not that they didn't have a bad season or something like that, because I'm sure if we look back at their records, they would. But I'm saying they never fell off the cliff and turned out to be the bottom of anything. They're always in the talk.
And, Nebraska's dipped down quite a bit.
Right. Nebraska, they would, since Tom Osborne left, pretty much they fell off the cliff, and they're no longer, I wouldn't call them
relevant.
I have a hard time. Yeah, I guess you're right. They're not relevant. They kind of can be when they get new coaches, or they're brought back up.
They keep their hope alive, and they own the state of Nebraska.
Right.
So,
which really don't produce a lot of
it doesn't.
Players.
They were bringing people from the East Coast and the West Coast, and I was like, how are you getting these people to go to Lincoln?
Yeah.
The nightlife.
Yeah, I'm sure. But Lou Holtz being the guy that he was, what I liked a lot about him is that he would give you a coach's perspective. When he was talking about a game, when he was maybe, commentating, or when he was in the studio talking, it's like what Coach Saban does, where, sometimes these guys, they'll get on and they talk. They're just good talkers, and they're able to carry on the conversation, or they're able to add something to it. But like guys like Lou Holtz and Nick Saban, when they're there, they're able to tell you things that's going on in the game that you may have not have known. And, I know some people don't like Tony Romo when he calls, but I like knowing what they're in. And Tony's like, okay, they need to do this. They'll probably have to do this. And that's the same kind of way that Lou Holtz used to be, when they would be talking. And him and Mark May, they used to go at it. I mean, they were the standard bearer of college football that you would listen to, because they always seemed like they had an opposite, opinion about something, and they would get fired up. And Lou Holtz was a fired up guy, so I'd like watching him.
So I think as soon as Jimmy Johnson kind of went pro, in I guess that was about 89. No, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, no, it was before that, before 89, 88 or something like that. It was probably the time Lou Holtz won the national title.
Yeah.
The whole coaches, it seems like it was a changing environment. Spurrier was coming in, Fulmer was still around. It just kind of
Bobby Bowden was still there.
Bobby Bowden was still around, yeah. But the Miami coaches were changing every 4 or 5 years. It seemed like Coker and everybody, So, it's like those old throwback coaches that it was, I don't say it was a dying breed, but it was definitely less of them after Lou Holtz had left Notre Dame.
But like what the caller said, I mean, he used to he would just pace back and forth. And you could tell him getting upset and aggravated and
didn't
all of
care about the camera at all.
Oh, no.
It's all about focusing on, we're going to win this game. And he wasn't scared of anybody. He had a full schedule.
There wasn't a lot of, he would wear the headset, but most of the time when you watched him, he wasn't wearing a headset.
Oh, yeah, no, that was weird.
It is a little weird. Yeah. But, it was that time frame, too.
So Jerome Bettis was 90 to 92, so he actually was not on that national championship. But Tim Brown was, and he's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah. Well, one thing that Wade Wilson, he is listening, he said that a quote that he said was broadcasting is easy. You just talk until you think of something to say. So, yeah, that's pretty good. But, on the flip side of that, when you're knowledgeable about something, it comes so easy for you to talk about it because you're good at it, because you know what you're talking about. It's a whole different ball game. You know, like if you were to have me sit here and try to talk about hockey, I wouldn't know what to do. No. But if you get me on a sport that I know, then we will definitely do that.
And it's so crazy that he went to South Carolina. He went to South Carolina at the end, right? Yeah. This was his last head coaching job. And then Spurrier followed him on.
Yeah, they kind of just did the same thing.
Getting back-to-back
Hall of Fame
coaches like that is wild. Now, his son, Skip, coached at UConn. Yeah. Which I didn't realize that Lou had coached at UConn. Probably his assistant, probably. I think. I don't know.
No, he was the head coach later on. Yeah.
No, early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting because I never knew that.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Mike on the line. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Paul. How are you?
We're doing okay.
Hold on, Paul. Alexa, turn off. I had her on the wrong station. Paul, I want to talk about Lou Holtz.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lou Holtz. He was one heck of a football mind. He was one heck of a football coach. The most I remember about Lou Holtz was he was a football player's man.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't take anything from anybody, and he didn't like to lose many games. If he could, what was his winning record at Notre Dame? Do you have that information?
I don't right offhand. I don't have it. We could probably find out and get it, but I know that he coached from 86 to 96, and he had the one national championship. So Jimmy's got it for us. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Lou Holtz, 1986 to 1996 for Notre Dame, an impressive 130-2.
Wow.
130-2. That was what percentage was that for wins?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. But I'll tell you this, when you look at how he commanded the sideline talking about being a football player's coach, that really is the mantra of Lou Holtz.
Yes, and he was not a guy that would put up with any nonsense. He took the football players to task, and if they did something, you betcha he set them straight. Because if they didn't go straight, they weren't playing for Lou Holtz.
No, you're right.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. And in 2008, he was inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame, which was perfect because he deserved it. You know what I mean? He definitely deserved that. And the thing about Lou Holtz is he looked smaller than he was. He was actually 5'10", so I didn't realize he was that tall. But as I was looking it up,
What did he die of?
I'm not sure. We didn't read the report, and I'm not sure if they gave that yet.
Yeah, they said he was.
How old was
he? Was 89.
How old was he?
89 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. That's a heck of a long time to live.
Yes, sir.
He's had a good life from what I'm able to. Lou Holtz, matter of fact, there used to be a station that carried Notre Dame football on 93.1 WWSR. Every Saturday, I would tune in to the Notre Dame broadcast just to hear another famous broadcaster broadcast radio. And that famous broadcaster was Don Trickey. Now, Don Trickey broadcast Notre Dame football. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Wow.
And it's just something I just happened to be sitting here thinking about it. So we really lost two football legends. We lost Lou Holtz today, and I think if memory serves me correctly, Don Cricky died too, didn't he?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I haven't. Sure. We're bumped up against the break, Mike. We're going to let you get back to your girlfriend, Alexa.
Hey, Paul. She's not my girlfriend.
Not yet.
Not yet. No, not at all. Besides, my real girlfriend wouldn't like that.
That's right, Mike.
All right, Bob. Are you going to be broadcasting any of the baseball classics? WBC World Baseball Classic?
We're checking on that. I'll let you know whether or not we're going to be able to or not.
All right, I'm listening to you right now.
Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate you, my friend.
So I got confused for a second there when he said 130
and 2. Yeah.
It's 100 wins, 30 losses, and two ties because they had ties back then.
Yeah.
So that confused me when he said 2 at the end. I was like, 2 losses now. I knew he didn't do that.
Yeah.
So just think about that. 30 losses in 11 seasons at Notre Dame. You're not even averaging 3 losses a season?
And you're playing against top-level competition. Because they played Florida State, they played Miami, they played USC. They played tough competitors.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were
Notre Dame.
It wasn't like they are.
Notre Dame is playing Michigan every year,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. But when we come back, we are going to dive into some college football and a lot more that you don't want to miss. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I'm looking at the schools that are most represented at the Combine. Texas A&M, 13 players. Alabama, 12. Ohio State, 11. LSU, 11. Georgia, 10. Oklahoma, 10. Miami, 10. Clemson, 9. Indiana, 9. But Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Mostly sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the south at 9 miles per hour. And look for it to be 74. Tonight, there will be slight fog with the temperature reaching 63. Slightly foggy in the morning. And then some sun tomorrow with a high of 75. Friday will have a high of 75 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
College Basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the Big East.
Zips baseline. What a shot. The reverse layup goes as he hits the deck. That was a wild shot for his first field goal. Tough reverse layup.
As the 4th-ranked Connecticut Huskies travel to Milwaukee to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles.
UConn and Marquette. Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. Don't forget tomorrow night, The Magic take on the Mavericks. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock right after the show. And also don't forget, Saturday we got a bunch of basketball on. The big one being Florida at UK at 2:30. We'll tell you UConn and Marquette at 11. Auburn at Alabama for part 2 of the Iron Bowl, 7 p.m. on that night. Don't forget as well, Brandon is in the building wearing all kinds of orange. So if you're on Facebook, you get a treat. But if you're not on Facebook and you're listening by radio, you need to check out our Facebook page. Maybe you can click on later and see all this burnt, ugly orange he's got. He's even got a drink, a sippy cup. That's what I call it. I call it a sippy cup.
It's something like that.
Yeah, so it's orange, all right.
Yeah.
It's a Stanley Cup,
Oh, okay.
man. It's like hockey championship right there.
100%. I want people to know what team I root for.
There's no doubt in that cup. Wow.
There you go.
That thing probably cost $100, didn't
Yeah, I
it?
got it for a Christmas gift, so I don't know.
So what Tennessee basketball do last night?
Man, so we finally broke the streak. We beat South Carolina. So
Well, that's good, but we got to go. We got Aaron Bearden on the line.
here we
Jeffrey,
go. Good
come on,
job,
what
Jeff.
are you doing? So either way, Aaron, we're sorry. I'm not sorry. Jeff's sorry for totally hi-hatting you and sidetracking because he got all confused over the orange that's in the building.
It's discombobulating them a little bit.
So Aaron Bearden with Instant Replay Sport Card. How you doing today, my friend?
Just excellent. How about you guys?
We're doing good. You're not wearing orange today, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Whew, good. I was going to make sure. I know that a lot of stuff are still getting pulled with the top series. Have you heard of any more kind of cool stuff that's been going on? Because, I mean, every week it just seems like something comes out that's cooler that they didn't tell anybody about. And to me, this one has really been one of those, it's almost like every week I'm kind of anxious to see, is somebody going to hit something that they didn't tell us about?
Yeah, I was told the other day the Bob Gibson rookie was found.
Wow.
I haven't kept up with it just because there's other products coming out on the market as well. But yeah, it does seem like it's a pretty loaded Series 1 product. I hope they keep that up because you've had years in the past where they did something really cool, really big for Series 1 and then sort of just like, Series 2 an update came out and didn't have that kind of fanfare, didn't have those sort of cool little add-ins with it. So I hope they keep it up all year long.
Yeah, I do too. I do too because I think it's really, I mean, obviously the card market is exploding, but still at the end of the day, everybody's really like looking at stuff and the videos that keep coming out. And what I've noticed is that there's a lot of normal, just everyday shops that are seeing hits. It's not just your guys online that's making the, 100,000 views and all of that. So that's really good. So I'm hoping that continues to flow as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's, you can say the card market's booming. I know Fanatics loves to throw those kind of numbers out there. We just got to make sure it's not just booming for a select few people. We got to make sure that everybody that buys a pack of cards or likes to collect has a chance to, get their money's worth and get some cards that they really like having in their collection.
Yeah, I think a lot of the, from when I look online, because obviously my algorithm is with cards and, of course I've got a son and he's got a little small collection and I still have my collection that I probably should just use for firewood one day or starters fluid or something. But with that being said, it just seems like, as it's starting to grow online more and more, that there's so many people that are jumping into it. And obviously, there's always going to be bad apples in the group, but still, I think for the most part, it's growing real heavily. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And really, the truth is it's been growing for about 10 or 12 years now, even prior to the sort of latest push with Fanatics and all these different contracts and licenses and all that. There were years going back to 2015, 16, 17, where there were indicators like Beckett and PSA and all saying, hey, we just broke our best record, our best year for the most cards graded. And the record we broke was set last year, and it broke the record of the year before. So there were those kind of indicators that it was growing already. And then when the pandemic hit, it blew up, and really it came back down to earth by 2013, 3 or so into 24, and now it's starting to pick back up again.
Yeah, and I think
it's always going to go in cycles.
I think with the way the internet works too, though. I think with the TikTok videos, I think with all of that being like, more and more and more and more, I think that's another way that it has. And I know that we've been looking for the Mickey Mantle, and I don't believe it's been found yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I got a couple of customers who, keep tabs on that stuff. So when they come in every day, they're sharing what they've heard about it. And I would think if it had been, one of these guys would be on top of that. And certainly Fanatics is leveraging the, more so than any other companies really, but they're leveraging the social media aspect of how easy it is to open a pack of cards on a camera. It's a very quick thing. So if you can sit there and open your entire box and film it, and you can cut down to just show that one pack with the really cool card and make that a 5 or 10 second TikTok video and go viral with it. So they're leaning into that pretty heavily.
How does your shipments come in? I mean, when they have like a new break on like Topps Mega Box, and it comes in like 1 week and you get like a bulk supply of it, and then you run down your inventory and you make like a weekly order and get more? Is that what happens?
Not really. The distributors don't work the same as like a shop, where if you're a collector and you go in like, I want a box of Topps, and I think I'm going to go back next week and I'll get another box of Topps. And, with the distributors, it's more like, here's what we have. This is what you can order this week, for something coming out next month. You put your order in now, and then they'll let you know if they're going to offer any more of it available. It's not just like here's our full inventory, purchase anything you like.
So, Aaron, to kind of
this is what you have to buy.
Kind of to follow up on that, so as a card shop, like you said, I guess Topps gives you a list, you kind of put in your order of what you want to see at your shop. How soon do you, as a hobby shop, get to know what is releasing prior to what drops on their website? And twofold question, what products are you most excited about hitting your shop this year?
So the first being, there are times when they make an announcement to the general public through their social media or, say, Topps.com or Panini or whatever, prior to opening up the order window for us.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but sometimes it does. And when I say prior, we're talking like, a few hours, maybe later that day.
Okay.
They offer it to us. But it's not always that we know about something coming out before everyone else does.
All right, understood.
Yeah. So... And that's, we always try to stress that with people. They'll come in and asking about a certain product. It's like, well, that hasn't been offered to shops yet. Or that isn't offered to shops, period. That is a Topps or whoever, online exclusive product. I really, as a shop owner, don't like that side of it. I think if they're making products, that they should make it available at everyone's local hobby shop.
Yeah, in my opinion, y'all should get first dibs as a hobby shop rather than retail.
And make it where, like those, we've talked before about some of the print-on-demand cards.
Yes.
Now and the Panini instance and all. Make that where the shops can get those, where you, the customer, if you want a card of that thing, you don't have to go on and pay the shipping and, this, that, and the other, where you can just go down and pick one up at your local shop. I think that would be a really cool idea, and spread the word about that. A lot of collectors don't even know that kind of stuff exists. You're different kind of collectors. You have ones that are on the manufacturers' websites every day, following social media. They're hearing about all these things. Some of the stuff you guys are talking about as to what's been pulled out of this and that. Then you have a lot of collectors that are just a lot more casual. It's a hobby. It's something that kind of, take their mind off at the end of the work day.
Yeah.
Maybe come to a shop and kind of get away from some things at home for a little bit, open a few packs.
100%.
They don't follow what's going on in the industry to that degree. So maybe they're not aware of some of these print-on-demand things or these specialty sets.
Yeah, by the way, listeners and viewers, I learned that from Aaron. Walked into his shop, and that is a whole nother side to the card collecting. I did not know that there are cards to get that you can't get in his store, at Walmart, at Target. You have to go on their website and print on demand, basically. So, yeah, thanks for showing me that, Aaron. I have ordered a couple of Topps Now cards from their website, so it has been a cool thing.
Yeah, and that's great. That helps Topps out. It doesn't help the shops out that have to deal with them. And a lot of those cards don't have long-term appeal because they do so much of that kind of stuff, and there's so much turnover in this hobby. So many people collecting in 2026 who were not collecting in 2025, 24, etc. They don't know what those cards were because these companies have done different iterations of print on demand or whatever. So trying to explain to them why, you should want this card in your collection because this was a really rare, exclusive print on demand offering for 48 hours back in 2022 or whatever. It doesn't go over with them. They're seeing cards like that, come out right now while they're collecting, featuring players they know and moments and events that they're following. So sometimes it's hard to move some of those cards after the fact. So, I just want to say I wish they would offer them to shops or just maybe don't do them just because it creates a lot of problems for stores when we're not offered that stuff, and it just goes direct to consumer.
So after the... go ahead.
I was going to say, the other part of your question was, what am I looking forward to?
Yeah, product releases this year.
Yeah, my favorite stuff is the really kind of out there and wide-ranging experimental stuff from Leaf, like Pop Century, and some of those things where it's a mix of sports and entertainment, and you just really never know what
Never know. It's kind of like a wild card. I mean, it's just like, you can get a singer, you can get an actor, you can get, I guess, a political figure. I mean, there's all kinds of, I've seen all kinds of, like, celebrities sitting in your display case on your pop culture side.
Yeah. So to me, that stuff's fun because, like I say, you really never know what you're going to get. With the sports stuff, you pretty much have an idea of who you want to get. I mean, we're all open baseball. We'd all love to pull, Bobby Witt, Judge, Ohtani, those kind of guys. And sometimes that stuff's few and far between. Those guys don't sign as many cards as some of the rookies that are just getting called up. But with that stuff like Pop Century, man, with the cut signatures and all, you never know. You might open a box up and pull out a Elizabeth Taylor autograph or a John Wayne signature or something like that. You just never know.
Your product mix, as far as the bulk of your business is sports cards, right?
Yeah, sports and Pokemon probably.
So, so Pokemon, you think you do triple or quadruple the amount of Pokemon sales as opposed to the sports?
No, it's not that. That big.
So it's actually closer. They're actually Pokemon's huge. Then is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, it's big, but it's not dwarfing sports card sales in that way. And part of that is that's on Pokemon that it's harder to get the product. They just don't print enough. Supposedly, I've heard they are going to be printing tons more, maybe by the end of the year, to kind of really kill some of that secondary market on it, which is, in my opinion, is what they need to do. Get it back for the people that like to collect it and play it, and not they don't have to pay $12 or $15 for a pack of cards. Kind of get rid of some of those scalpers and scammers out there.
Well, just the other day, I saw Kevin O'Leary, which is famous for the Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful. He was at an awards show, and he was wearing, now he's got it put on a necklace, the Kobe and Michael Jordan signature, the most expensive card that was purchased, that has the NBA logo, I believe.
The Logo Man card.
Yeah, the Logo Man
it's got
card.
The cut of right there on the chest. Those are cool cards.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable.
So many issues with that. First of all, they have those in every sport. Yeah, they have those the laundry tag cards in every sport. It's only the basketball people that's Logo Man, whatever that's supposed to mean. It's a bit silly with the basketball thing. Secondly, look, anybody with that kind of money can just go out and buy any card and spend, now I can spend $16 million or $17 million, and just to say they have the most expensive card ever.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit silly. In this idea of wearing these cards on gold chains and all that. You know what, man? Flavor Flav can do that. Anybody else look ridiculous doing that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You know how he is. He's not going to buy it by himself. He's in a collective that bought it, so he just gets to wear it, and he gets to do that. Aaron, give us some stuff that's going on at the store. Yeah, go ahead.
There was a time when the ultra wealthy people built libraries and schools and things like that.
Now we're wearing sports cards around our neck.
Now they buy trading cards and put them around their neck.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Give us some stuff that's going on this week at the shop.
Sure, yeah. So we've got our kids club on Friday night, 6 o'clock. Bring those kids down. They have a blast. Every week we make sure the kids get a ton of cards to go home with. I was not here this past Friday night. I was at a show down in Tampa. But I know the week before, every kid that came for the kids club left with an autographed card. So they have a ton of fun with that. Saturday, breaks in store. Saturday, we will also be at the Minicon over at the Fairgrounds Comic Book Show. We will be there on behalf of CGC, accepting submissions for comics, cards, all that. So come drop your stuff off, and we will get it to CGC for you and get it graded for you. So, it's going to be a big weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's the first time we've gone out and done CGC submissions on site like that. So, should be a great opportunity. Hope to see a lot of comic book fans out there getting their books graded.
That sounds good. And give us the address and the times of the open and closing.
Yeah, we're at 752 West 23rd Street. That's in the Stanford Station right there with Academy Sports and Sweet Frog. We're open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday, 10 to 8, Sunday, 12 to 6. You can find all of that and more at instantreplay sportscards.com.
Well, we sure do appreciate it, Aaron, and we will be talking to you next week. I'm sure you got a lot of funny stuff coming out and good stuff coming out. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Definitely, guys. Take care. Everybody be good.
See you, Aaron. All right, man. We'll see you. When we come back, we'll talk about this Tennessee football program that's looking for a quarterback. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Rich Eisen Show.
Jeremiah Love. I like to get in your face and talk a little bit, especially if it's USC. Okay. Yeah, flip a switch. Turn into a different person.
Okay. No kidding.
Gotta have a little bit of craziness. Just a little bit.
Why do you say that?
Because who wants to be hit and hit people for a living, you know?
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays 11 to 2. ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards, and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
College Basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the Big East.
Zips baseline. What a shot. The reverse layup goes as he hits the deck. That was a wild wild shot for his first field goal. Tough reverse layup.
As the fourth-ranked Connecticut Huskies travel to Milwaukee to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles.
UConn and Marquette. Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Now, the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for Orlando Magic basketball right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget tomorrow night, 6 o'clock tip-off right after the show. And don't forget Saturday, UConn at Marquette at 11. Florida at Kentucky at 2:30. Auburn at Alabama. Iron Bowl number 3 of the year.
No.
Football.
Oh, football.
And then the 2 basketball. So this is number 3.
Well, the football was last year.
I know, but it's still the season.
The season.
Yeah, so 7 o'clock.
The academic schedule.
Do you remember what I said about the 2:30 Florida-Kentucky game?
No, what'd you say?
I said, is this going to be an upset for Kentucky, which will give Florida their loss that they need because they've got 10 in a row that they've won. So how many more? You don't want to take
10 in a row.
Yeah, Florida. Florida's got 10 in a row.
Okay, yeah.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
talking
right.
fast, but you got to be. You got to stay with me.
They won their 10th last night.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said.
Yeah,
you got to listen. I'm kidding. So if you think about it, remember we talked about it yesterday. If their win streak gets too long into the tournament, I mean, I don't know.
Sit and rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think as well as they played that they've secured a number 1 seed without winning the SEC?
No, they have to win the SEC tournament.
To get a 1 seed, I think they need to win it, and then
I think they win and they're in. I think UConn's going to get bumped because their conference isn't that straight.
Yeah, that's the deal. UConn's ahead of them right now, but I think they've surpassed UConn.
I mean, UConn will win their conference.
Yeah,
they'll
win it.
They're
but that's not a big
lesser competitive conference. They're pretty stout year in, year out. They're a basketball school, so I expect them to win that. I don't necessarily expect Florida to win the SEC. Yes, are they a better team? But does the better team always win?
No.
9-game win streak. They got one more 10-game win streak. And they got one more regular season game, and then they're going to have to run the table. You think they're actually going to run the table in the SEC and the NCAA?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm scared of.
There's no way. With 10 wins, you have to win, 4? Well, they get a bye, so probably 3 in the SEC. You need 4. So they got to string out 7 straight more wins. Don't think that's going to happen.
It's going to be harder to
against better competition.
Would you love to play against a number 2, or if you were the number 2 with UConn as your number 1 in your side of the bracket? Yeah, I mean, sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, so that could be a way that they could get it. Again, Florida's going to be a hard matchup for teams that aren't big in the paint.
Because they're massive.
Because they're big.
Largest, tallest teenager in the world on their team.
But on the flip side of it, the ones that can shoot the ball, because their guard defense is good, but they've got to be able to match the guard play
of other
with
teams.
who they play.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you got a heavy guard, that's really good, which like Michigan, they can do it. Duke can do it. But I still don't he's high on Duke. I'm not. Yes, they're good. They can do a lot of stuff, but I still don't think Duke's got enough to win it all. So, but anyway, what was you going to say?
No, I mean, 10-game win streak, you beat Kentucky or 11. It only takes 4 games to win the SEC tournament. So that'd be 15.
I would think they'd get a bye first round, then they'd have then they should only have 3.
Oh, so there's only 3.
Yeah, I think there's 4 if you
because not everybody goes. Because the bottom 2 teams are eliminated. I mean, they aren't invited to the tournament, I believe.
I'll have to check that. I thought everybody got invited, but I'll check that out.
Okay.
But either way, when you look at it, I mean, you're still having to win, 15, 16, 17 games. Where 15 games to me is just as hard as 17 games in a row. So we're just talking apples to apples here.
I'm not sure if they were on a 3-game win streak, and if they won last night, that's 4 or something like that. It's not as impressive,
right? And that's the thing. When you look at their run. for me, being a fan of the SEC, wanting Florida to be the team because they're the best team we've got, I'm hoping that they throw one, whether it's now or in the SEC tournament, because I could care less about getting the 1 or the 2. There's not a big fall off for me for the 1 or the 2.
That's where I disagree. If you're the 2 and you're in with Arizona or Duke, you got problems.
You're going to have to play them
before you get to the Final Four.
Yeah, but you're going to have to play them anyway.
Yeah, but you'll be playing other. What if you're playing both of them? Because you'll be playing one of them in the Elite Eight and then the other one in the Final Four.
You got to listen.
It's messed over.
Ric Flair
don't want to be the 2.
Listen to me, and Jimmy, you probably ought to keep this recorded right here. Ric Flair said, "To be the man, you got to beat the man," and he's the man.
Well, you have to beat all the men.
Well, that's the way they did it last year, so we'll do it again. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17s phone line. We got Rob on the line. Rob, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
We're doing fantastic in here talking Gator basketball.
Yeah, well, that's all we heard all morning.
I had no idea. It's still a lot of hot topic to talk about.
Well, we're trying to not talk about Alabama losing to Georgia.
Well, I hadn't been able to listen to every minute, but since I had sent you all the stuff about the bananas this weekend, I wanted to kind of talk about the Savannah Bananas and their baseball project that they got going on. Did y'all see any of it?
We did.
Sunday night when they replayed it?
Yes, we did. So let me just tell you this, and I'm not trying to squash it right now, but at the 5 o'clock hour, Brandon actually went. So we are going to do a first segment for the Savannah Bananas at 5 o'clock, and we're going to talk about it all, the good, bad, and the ugly, because I'm telling you, you're going to, you might want to call back, because I think you're not going to love my take on it.
Ooh.
Well, I was going to wait and call, but normally Brandon does his fake sports stuff. So anyway, I'll call back after that.
Okay, sounds good, because we are definitely going to talk about it. And, I probably should have said that at the beginning, but I wanted it to kind of be a surprise. But it's all good. We're good.
All right, man. I'll call you back.
Thank you, Rob. We appreciate it.
Back to Jeff's point real quick. Yes, all SEC teams qualify for the SEC tournament, so it's a 16-team tournament.
Okay.
The top 4 seeds receive a double bye, so they get a bye into the quarterfinals. So I would assume Florida would get that double bye.
Yes.
So you'd have quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. So 3 games to win the SEC. And then
that is so crazy.
Yeah, so you're looking at Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
Almost a lock.
Yeah, those are the 4 teams that's going to get the double bye. They're going to.
I don't know if the last game of the year will change anything.
Now Missouri and Kentucky were right behind Tennessee, I believe.
Yeah, so they're behind them. Yeah. But Tennessee, with their record and all, they're going to be the one. Out of those, let me ask you this: out of those 4 teams, though, would it shock you if any of them won the SEC?
Oh no, absolutely not.
You think there's enough parity, even though you saw the score of the Arkansas-Florida game at Florida?
Yeah, that really put a dent.
One of those 4 teams wins the SEC.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I just think that those 4 teams have way greater talent than the field of 12. So if you're giving me the 4 teams of the field, I'm taking the 4 teams.
Either way, yeah. For sure. Who do you think Tennessee's gonna? Do you think they got a legitimate shot?
I mean, this is college basketball. I think we got a legitimate shot. The way we've been playing here recently, I mean, we got to quit turning the ball over. We got to hold on the leads. I mean, all these games that we've lost, at some point we've held the lead for almost 75% of the game and then find a way to lose it. So tournament time, if Rick Barnes can, get these guys straight and, Amit comes back with, that little injury he had. He didn't play against South Carolina last night, one of our best players. So get him back in the lineup, get him moving and grooving, and yeah, I mean,
it's still a possibility.
They have the best shot to win the whole thing after Florida, because Arkansas looked like chump change against Florida, and Bama just lost to Georgia by 10.
Yeah, but that's a matchup deal. We're going to go to the Red 17s phone line. We got Big Nate on the line. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, March Madness is full in effect, and everybody's getting all hyped up, and I just want to put my name in the game.
All right. Well, throw it in there, buddy. Who are you going for, Washington?
Oh, no, God. No. Though there are some teams that are pretty interesting to me in the top that people really need to be paying attention. Obviously, you guys are a little bit homered with the Florida and the Gators and the repeat and everything, and I wish them all the luck. But Duke, Arizona, and Michigan,
Yeah.
Based on just record alone, you got to be kidding me. These teams seem to be very seasoned. It will be interesting for me to see how they play out in their different conference championships. Now, other teams you got to look at in the second, like that next level where I'm putting Florida, they're going to have to contend with like a Michigan State, a UConn, but Miami of Ohio is kind of a sleeper team that a lot of people aren't talking about. They haven't lost a game all year.
Yeah. One of only, I think, 8 teams to not lose a game in the regular season.
Right.
They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. I just, when you talk about tiers in college basketball, you're talking, like you said, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Florida, UConn, those guys. I think they run the court on the Warhawks.
Yeah, I want to let you know, Miami of Ohio, second game of the year, played at Trinity, beat them 129-49. If that tells you the type of competition that they're playing throughout the year.
And I understand that, but there is something to be said that a team, especially at the beginning levels, that could be overlooked, and depending on the seeding, they could make a run based on who they're. People elevate their game to the people that they're playing against.
Yeah, the matchups matter.
We'll agree with that.
The matchups matter.
I've done it. I've done it in high school. We played down to a team that we should have just smoked and end up losing.
Yeah, and the thing is that the bad problem about Miami of Ohio, and we got a minute till the break, is that they're going to get a 5, 6, or a 7, and that's like the hardest thing in the world to win when you're in the tournament. That's the hardest seeds to do anything.
Well, I love my Cinderella slippers because I got big feet. So anyway, you guys have a great evening, and I look forward to hearing the rest of the show.
Thank you, Big Nate. We appreciate you, man.
Miami just beat Toledo by 2 points, and it was at home.
Yeah, their last 2 games, they're undefeated, and I believe anybody can make a run. But, Toledo by 2, and the game before was at Western Michigan, and that was another win by 2. They have a handful of games. They've only won by 1 possession. Yeah. So, I think they're pretty – I would say you need a little bit of luck to be 30-0, but I'd say they're a little bit unlucky to be 30-0.
And here's the thing. So you've beaten Toledo twice. They're like a 4 seed or 5 seed, whatever they were in conference.
Yep, you're going to have to hold it until we get back from the break. You are listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We are going to talk Savannah Banana baseball when we get back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hales Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
We're live from the J. Michael Studio.
We all know who loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Wednesday. Mostly sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the south at 9 miles per hour. And look for it to be 74. Tonight, there will be slight fog with the temperature reaching 63. Slightly foggy in the morning. And then some sun tomorrow with a high of 75. Friday will have a high of 75 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfurt Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
WGSX Lynhaven, WVOQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got a scratch, dent, or a full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
When the sun sets on the Emerald Coast, the freaks come out and play.
Hi, I'm a recovering crackhead.
Hand me that shotgun. Get on your knees!
The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even try, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are back live and local right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We are pumped up and ready to go. Don't forget, if you want to call in and be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290 is the Red 7T's phone line. Red 7T's, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Orlando Magic basketball. They're playing the Mavericks right after the show. So we got to talk about it. Brandon, our resident Tennessee fan, turned into on Saturday a Savannah Banana fan. Give us your take on being there live with all of the fans. We saw it all over Facebook. Everybody and their mother went. And they were all dressed in banana gear, yellow.
Yeah,
did you buy anything banana?
I did buy some banana gear. I did.
How much was it expensive?
I mean, it was like the hats were like $35.
Oh my gosh.
So
they made a killing.
They probably did, dude. I mean, I would say merchandise for them is massive.
Yeah,
I mean, those
have to.
The lines there they were astronomical. It was hard to fathom. I mean, it was busier. There were more people, more lines than any other like sporting event I have been to. Let me tell you, it was an event.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, and I learned this, so Banana Ball is the league.
Right.
Savannah Bananas is a team, but there's also other teams in the Savannah Ball League. You've got the Party Animals, Firefighters, the Texas Tailgaters, and the two new teams this year are the Loco Beach Coconuts and the Indianapolis Clowns. So we do have a Florida team here in Florida, and
the Cocoa Beach team is a Florida team.
Yes, and I would, I would set this as an example as like kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah.
Now I do think it's not preset. I don't think they're predetermined. These guys actually play, and from what I've seen in like the hallway, because the players are very active. The players on the other teams who aren't playing, they're in the stands. They're handing out stuff. They're throwing stuff. I mean, because we're watching the Tailgaters and the Bananas, but you got the Firefighters and Party Animals. They were signing autographs in the stands and throwing T-shirts and balls, and I mean, it was a spectacle. The events in between every single inning, from the baby race to the banana pants throw to the field goal through the guy on the stilts.
Oh my gosh.
They threw a golden banana in the infield, blinded an old man, and he was able to find it by fans cheering and or booing.
Okay.
I thought the events between the actual baseball was just as entertaining as the game itself, to be quite honest.
So basically, the banana and the man's playing Marco Polo.
Practically,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. It was pretty impressive. Boo, and he stopped, and he would just spin around in circles till we cheered, and then he'd just crawl forward, and we just cheered louder, and he found it. It was pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, the play was pretty good. We were in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Yeah, which was cool.
Which was cool. My first time as a sports fan ever being to the Florida State Stadium. They kept some of the tradition. The banana ran out. He stabbed his flag in the middle of the field.
That's cool.
Kind of keeping the same tradition. The prior days, they played, I believe, Wednesday through Saturday, or Thursday through Saturday, and these other teams that I named played the day before. But when we got there, they were having a doubleheader at the softball field and a doubleheader at the baseball field. So this one was why it was played in the football stadium. Super, super cool getting in there. They only played there one night, but they had a legitimate baseball field set up. I mean, there was dirt for the infield. They had foul poles. I mean, they had the whole shebang.
And
pretty cool.
Left field was
left field might have been 700 feet. Right field might have been 200. There were several home runs hit, to the right field, right center.
Yeah.
I mean, anything strung out in the left field, you were just running the bases for days. But
yeah, so let me ask you this: Did they have a deal where they're recruiting? Aren't they having like where they recruit for players to join the league?
Yeah, I didn't see any recruiting tactics while I was at that game. Now, I did spend probably 2 innings in line at the concession stands trying to get like 6
leg time, baby.
No, like 6 hot dogs and 2 things of popcorn for the girlfriend and the kids. We were, ecstatic about being there. But yeah, the lines and the merchandise line and the concession lines were out the door.
That's a multi-million-dollar operation.
Let me tell you, from where they started to where they're at in just 6 years, I mean, just counting the number of seats, I mean, they're making an absolute killing. But they have an entire army on the field. There are a million hands that put this show together.
Yeah.
And think about it, everybody out there's making money. So, I mean, it is a spectacle.
Well, we're going to go to the Red 17s phone line. And don't forget, if you want to tell us about your experience there, you can call in 850-215-6290. Rob, are you on the line?
Yes, sir, I am here.
All right. Tell us about your experience, Rob. How did you like the Savannah Bananas?
Well, Brandon covered it pretty good. I mean, it was a spectacle. The only drawback that I had is that the autograph signing was at 2:00, and that lasted about 45 minutes, and the stadium did not open until 4.
Yeah, there was a long time between.
Right, but with that put in there so people could go to the merchandise, because he's right, man, it was a circus tent for merchandise, and it was crammed packed.
He ain't lying. Literally a circus tent with a bunch of like yard sale tables.
Right.
I mean, it was a massive event.
When you walked in one end of it, both sides were tables set up with each one of the teams, all their merchandise, jerseys, and everything, and then the whole back side had all the different types of hats for every team. And he's right, they're $35, but like I said, and somebody asked me, what was it like? I said it was a cross between wrestling, arena football game, and a circus.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
And right, but it is a show. When you get there, there's not, hey, ball game this way or whatever. It's a show this away. And from the time the gates open, and I will say, when you went through security, like you said, all the other teams were there signing autographs, and it was a line behind every autograph. The lines couldn't have been any bigger if you'd have had Judge there or Otani.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you.
I would agree with that. It was unreal.
If you got kids that are, say, from 6 to 14, they will have a blast. And if you've got daughters that are up to 25, maybe 26, 27, they're going to be in awe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Definitely, Rob, I agree with that. Marketed a little more towards children and women in general. Now, like, us guys, we're easily pretty entertained with anything like the baby race. Like, I thought that was awesome.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was too. But yeah, definitely more toward women and children. I did enjoy some of the. I mean, there were some athletic plays. There were still athletes on the field making plays. But like you said, I think you said it best when you said it's more of a show than a sporting event.
Right. Now, most of the guys are probably minor leaguers that either washed out, couldn't hit a good breaking pitch, or whatever. But I watched some highlights because they showed all the highlights from the 2 nights before over at the stadium, and you could tell when there's not much scoring or whatever, that they would get somebody out and say, and I kind of disagree with if it's pre-planned or not, because you can tell when a pitcher grooves one and he puts it in the seat. Yeah. Now, I will say this, in the first 4 innings, when there's a home run hit, the inning's over and they swap out.
Wow.
You know, so it's really, and it's more based on points because they do trick plays. You know, there'll be a ball that's hit in short center. The guy will come in and he'll take his glove, close it, let it hit the fingers and pop it up, and then the shortstop or the second baseman will dive and catch the ball and stuff. And, you know, and you can tell when they're running to a ball, you know, and making a play that, you know, they'll catch it and kind of slide down after the fact. So, I mean, it's a show. It is honestly a show.
Well, Rob, we appreciate the call, my friend. I'm curious to see what you think about what I'm about to say, so I'll let you hang up so you won't be screaming.
Well, I will tell you this. They sold 2.5 million tickets last year with just the 4 teams.
Oh, my gosh.
And $50 million in merchandise. Oof. And they didn't and those guys make an average of their salaries is $85,000 a year for the players, and they have merchandise incentives and programs. There's a guy that did a podcast on the between innings. He set up a table. He's doing a podcast, a live podcast during the game. Somebody is a marketing genius who thought this stuff up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You're exactly right, man.
But man, but until you go, and I would say this: if you were going from here, go to the one that's in Atlanta. That they're going to be in Atlanta for 3 days at Truist Park on the second or third weekend in May. That way you can make it a whole day because there's so much to do around the stadium in Atlanta. There's sit-down restaurants and everything else.
Yeah.
So I would, if I was talking to a friend or telling somebody, if you got kids, you want to make a weekend, take them to the Atlanta deal up there, and it would be, and you will not. You know, it's so much better, and it's a whole lot cheaper than Disney.
Well, we appreciate it. That's funny. That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Rob. Thank you so much, my friend.
See you, Rob.
You know, all of those things, because, you know, and I looked it up. You know, he did say 85,000. I think that's off of last year's number. It's $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, these guys are making $100,000 a year. Yeah. And you know as well as I do by being there, everything that he said is so true. They probably did not have the turnout like they did for this one, because you know as well as I do, the softball people that were at those games, the baseball people were at the Florida State games. Oh, yeah. They were coming over to check it out, to get to be a part of all of the festivities that were outside of tickets.
I'm pretty sure after the games were over, I seen Florida State players and stuff like that, outside the stadium, they were hanging around. I'm pretty sure maybe some of them might have been able to get in the game because they're, one of their players. Yeah. They know people. They got in. Nonetheless, I mean, everybody's interested in it, to be quite honest with you.
And it's got different rules. If you hit a ball if you foul a ball off into the stands and a kid or whoever catches it, that's an out.
Yeah, so you don't want to catch your team. So, whoever your team is,
slap
it down. Yeah, or pop it up just to see what happens. So.
Yeah, they had a bunch of different rules that I thought were unique. I don't have it. I may try to pull up a couple while you give your take.
I just, for me, I've watched a lot of it on TV. I watched some of it. Now, I haven't been there. And again, if you want to call in and tell us about your experience, 850-215-6290. I'm going to say it. I know this is probably going to make me look like a hater, but I promise I'm not.
You're just an old man.
You can call it what you want, but, I mean, from what I've seen, it's a lot of men twerking with their clothes off, shaking their butts in those tight.
They keep their clothes on.
They got their shirts off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they take their shirts off. It looks like, to me, a baseball Magic Mike performance. I'm sorry. And I'm just watching some of it on ESPN, and I'm just thinking, man, I get it. The kids, the boys, the girls, all that, they go crazy. And he's right, man. The 14 to 25-year-old girls, they're going bananas over these guys because they've got online a presence that's just unbelievable. If you look at some of these guys, they do TikTok videos during the week, all week.
During the game.
I mean, so.
Watched it.
Again, don't get me wrong. I hope nobody gets off with me on this. If you do, you can call in and put me in my place, 850-215-6290. But I don't know if I love that. I don't know. I watched it and I saw it and I'm like,
Well, all I know is I'm trying out next year, you guys. I'll give my resignation to Randy and I'm just going to start practicing.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, video all this.
So they have a squad called, I think, the Bronanas. You might be able to apply for one of those positions.
Isn't that like the minor league kind of squad that they got where they kind of like learn the ropes of it?
Yeah, so I think there are some like pre-existing, but there were like other guys out there, obviously, like they weren't baseball players. They were like, big, strong, like burly men. And yeah, they were doing they were like basically men cheerleaders. They had little pom-poms kind of like to their hips and stuff. And
they were shaking their hips?
They were shaking their hips, man. I mean, there was a lot of men's hip shaking. Part? It was not my favorite part. Let's go ahead and clarify that. It wasn't. But yeah, there was a lot of Magic Mike type stuff on this baseball field.
I know it sounds like I'm a hater right now. I'm not. I think it's wonderful. I mean, obviously, look at what the money brought into the city.
Idea.
Yeah, the guy that did it, he walks around, he's got the yellow suit on.
He talked, he was
top.
there.
Yeah, he's such a brilliant guy.
A lot of their money goes to like charity and things like that. They do banana fosters for a foster home.
Wow,
they have their own like organization. Yeah, I mean they do a lot of good things. But yeah, that guy spoke, and I've seen a documentary of like where they started in like 2020, couldn't give away tickets to some of their games, to now they can't have enough seats in the stands.
So my oldest is 24, and a couple of years, 2-3 years ago, she talked about, going to a game, going all the way to Savannah. But I think she's kind of got soured on it because I think it's gotten too big.
Well, the lottery I have been honestly trying for like 2 years. My girlfriend, she's been trying for about 4. And, we finally got it. She bought tickets and I went, but it's a lottery.
Yeah.
And, buying tickets secondhand, especially these days, is very skeptical. So kind of like the Masters, if you don't get drawn to get picked, you typically don't get to go. And they're usually, prior to this year, I think as of today, Doak Campbell Stadium is the largest venue that they have been at, so they get to sell 70,000 to 80,000 tickets,
and it looked full.
And I'm sitting in my seat. I do not see an empty chair. I go to concession stand, lines are out the door. I'm like, where are all you people sitting in this stadium, because it's packed.
Yeah, and just think, 7-8 months ago, they were giving away tickets for $7-8 in Florida State.
Yeah,
for the football.
For football.
So, I mean, the worlds of difference right there.
So you bought a jersey? Is that what you bought?
I bought a hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought.
It's not yellow, is it?
I mean, it's a Savannah Bananas hat, so it's going to have a little bit of yellow, Jeff.
No, but is it just like the bananas yellow or the whole hat's yellow?
I'll wear it in here.
He's got an orange, all the way orange shirt on. Why wouldn't he wear a yellow hat?
Keep your shirt on.
I looked this up. There's a few different rules. So they don't score. They don't win by scoring. So they do keep score. I don't think if the innings are split, they would go to the score, but they go by innings won.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of them. So instead of total runs by innings, there's no stepping out of the batter's box. You step out, it's a strike. So they try to keep pace of play.
Yeah, that's great.
In the game. There's no bunting, no walks.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I mean, but do they get points for dancing? Because they all dance.
Just trick plays. I thought the walks were cool because if they threw a ball forward, the batter takes off sprinting. A lot of the times they could get to second because once they throw a ball, the catcher, this ball has to touch every glove of every infielder. So it's got to touch 8 more gloves before they can tag the runner out. So they throw it. They start zing, 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 and you have the infielders coming in, and they're the last ones to touch the ball, and they have to get the last one to touch the ball before they can stop.
And they're working on trick plays and tricks that they do.
It reminds me of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, but a little bit. It's broken out just because of travel baseball. Everybody loves travel baseball. You got all these kids playing baseball. just about all those kids that come are baseball players, or at least try, because they're all trying at practice to catch the ball between their legs.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do that.
I mean, half of the 8U team that I helped coach was at that game, and Monday's practice was like we were in the batting cages, and all I could see was doing this and doing
Flipping
that. And behind
bats
them,
and
I'm
all.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
all right, this is
Rob
great.
mentioned Truist Park in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But they're going to Biloxi, and that's the Biloxi Shuckers as the minor league team.
Yeah.
And then they're going to the Superdome in New Orleans. Which venue would you think would be better?
I would like to go to the smaller venues if you're able to get in. It's more personable. It's going to be less crowded. You know, you have that chance. Like Rob said, they did signings at 2:00, and we got there at like 2:30. I mean, it's packed, had a hard time, and we ended up paying one of the Chariot bicycle people to run us all the way there.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
It was,
It's
dude,
worth
it was so worth it, by the way.
Best $2 I ever spent.
So, yeah, we got there, and the lines for any of the players was, I mean, so long. And to be honest with you, we looked up, and we're like, where'd the players go? And the line just started to dissipate. It was just like a certain time hit, and they were gone. They were gone. They
gotta
were
keep
doing
their schedule.
They were doing their cha-cha line
Whoa.
at the stadium, you know.
Whoa.
Again.
Maybe you should try it with them moves, dog.
Hey.
That was pretty good.
Go ahead and move on from that.
Either way, when we come back, I promise we won't be talking bad about the Savannah Bananas, because they are a great organization. They do a wonderful thing for their kids. So either way, when we come back, we're going to discuss some of this NFL stuff going on and possibly some college football quarterback news. You listen to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for college basketball.
And it goes in at the buzzer. Got it.
Listen to select games from the LSU Tigers, Florida Gators, the Auburn Tigers, and the biggest games around the country play here.
Three-pointer, punch of it. Oh, you saw that coming, Raptor.
The most live college basketball in the Panhandle.
Game is over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday. Partly cloudy and slightly foggy tonight with a wind around 5 miles per hour out of the east-northeast and a low of 63. Tomorrow morning, look for a variety of some sun and slight fog with a temperature near 72. The afternoon and evening, a high around 74 and mostly sunshine. Friday, very warm with a high of 75 and slight fog. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
College Basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a showdown in the Big East.
Zips baseline. What a shot. The reverse layup goes as he hits the deck. That was a wild shot for his first field goal. Tough reverse layup.
As the 4th-ranked Connecticut Huskies travel to Milwaukee to take on the Marquette Golden Eagles.
UConn and Marquette. Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your fantasy roster just got T-boned. And your season is looking like a pile of scrap metal. It's time for Brandon's recommendations.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
Brought to you by Recommended Collision Center, where we get your roster back in showroom condition. The Sports Blitz.
Talk to your doctor before use.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
He's a hero.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Magic take on the Mavericks at 6 o'clock right after the show. We're pumped up about Brandon's recommendations. You know, when you talk about all of this fantasy stuff and you talk about the NBA as far as the league goes, you got to know that we got to start talking about these rookies. I mean, Con Knipple, I know he doesn't get the star power because of Cooper Flagg being his teammate in college, and now he can't shake him. I know they're best of friends, they were roommates, all of that stuff, but if he was in a year that he didn't have Cooper Flagg right now, people would be just talking about him so much. But when you hear about, you know, the rookies of this NBA season, he's usually the fourth, fifth guy that they talk about. And I know he's coming from a smaller market. The Charlotte market's not at the big market.
And that Charlotte market's heating up, man.
They got a lot of young players.
Yeah, and LaMelo and the whole crew. I mean, they're starting to play and put some stuff together.
Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that in there. I won't hold you up any longer.
No, you're
what you
good.
got?
So just to kind of give everybody a rundown, the 25-26 NBA season will conclude Sunday, April 12th. So we've got a little over a month left of the regular NBA season. Play-in tournaments April 14th through 17th, and the NBA playoffs actually start on April 18th. So just to kind of give everybody a rundown where we're at. With that being said, it's every year fantasy managers get cooked by putting more value on names rather than getting their value from like specific situations.
Although Jeff's favorite player the other night scored 67 points, LeBron James. Go ahead. Sorry.
King James. So you have really bad teams preparing and looking in the next season. They're playing their young talent. They're trying to figure out what they have. So those guys that you have on your team that were seeing minutes may not be seeing as many minutes because the team that's tanking or the team that's not doing so well is throwing the young talent out there. One, seeing what they got, and two, they ain't got nothing to lose. So be careful of that. You also have contenders. Playoff contenders that are managing their workloads with their top players. So like people that have carried you all season long may not carry you in the time that is most important right now because they are preparing for the playoffs, trying to get their legs a little more fresh. So just be wary of that. Right now, the goal isn't to build the flashiest roster, it's to build the most dependable one. So focus on players with secure roles. Teams that still have something to play for is really important for minimal and risk of late season shutdowns. So in the fantasy playoffs, availability and volume often makes the difference in this late push of the year. So as rotations tighten and motivations shift around the league, these are the players and trends that definitely are worth keeping an eye on around the league. So right now, Jonathan Kuminga, he was traded to the Hawks on February the 5th. He's a former Golden State Warriors. They ended up kind of, offloading him to get some picks and some cap space and things of that nature. He's had an immediate impact since leaving Golden State. His scoring, rebounds, his free throw volume, and defensive contributions have given him a multi-facet of, fantasy points. So he's not just a scorer. He's not just a defensive guy. He's a guy who can score, a guy who can play defense. He makes, right decisions on the court. So that's really a player that, that the Hawks, I don't know, the Hawks don't have really much to lose, but since he's been there, they're trying to figure out what he's worth. They're trying to put him on the floor. So look for Kuminga, even in these last month, to put up some points and some minutes for them. And he's also still available in 43% of like these ESPN leagues. So in your especially your like smaller leagues, usually your bigger leagues, like 12 to 14, the guys like these are already gone.
Yeah.
So usually like in your 8 to 10 man leagues, guys like these are definitely still sitting on the bench. So just kind of keep an eye out on that. Another one kind of staying in the Warriors family, Brandon Pazinski. He's the Golden State Warriors point guard right now, point guard and shooting guard. Because Steph Curry's out.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's always battled injuries, ankles and hamstrings and things like that since coming out of Davidson. So he's been durable over the years, but as his career is progressing later in, he has been known to get a little more hurt. Especially with them having a potential playoff push, they're probably resting him as well. So keep an eye on Brandon Podzinski. He's been playing a larger role since Steph's been out. He's moved in and out of the starting lineup as other players have dealt with an injury. So he's kind of like their Swiss Army knife. They can rely on him. He knows the plays. They know he's going to make good decisions. So he does get to play quite a bit, even with Steph when he is in the lineup. So whether he's starting or coming off the bench, he's a consistent mid-teen scorer, borderline dominant rebounder, and a solid source of assists. So 3-pointers and steals, he can really do it all. So that's a guy that is only rostered in another.
And those guys are important. Those guys are important when you're playing fantasy because you can't just go by points. You got to get steals, you got to get assists, you got to get rebounds, you got to get all of those things too.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah, just kind of like in fantasy football, which everybody's more familiar with. If your quarterback throws for 400 yards but throws for no touchdowns and rushes no touchdowns and doesn't do anything, I mean, your points are kind of limited.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to have multifacets of your game, and these two guys, if they're not picked up in your league, can definitely provide that for your fantasy roster.
Is Reed Shepherd starting to trend up a little bit? He's starting to get a little bit of popularity. I know he plays on the team with KD, but
he's with the Rockets. He's one of those rookies that kind of gets overshadowed by the Cooper Flag phenomenon. A lot of people, that's the only rookie that matters out there.
Yeah.
But he is starting to. KD's a ball dominant scorer, so he's kind of in KD's shadow. KD ain't gonna be around for forever. So.
Oh, he's gonna play forever. He's gonna beat LeBron in age. He's going to play longer than LeBron.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because all he's going to do is just shoot threes. That's all he's going to do. He's going to come in for like 2 minutes and shoot threes and then go out. They don't have to play anybody.
His knees won't hold up?
Yeah, well, he just wrap them.
I mean,
banana tape.
Get me coughing over here. All right, so 2 players to potentially look to sit if they are in your lineup. I know he was hot during All-Star. But Kawhi Leonard, he is notorious for being hurt, especially in times that matter.
He's old.
He's what was it? Stephen A. said he's like the best worst player of all time. It's just the fact that like he has so much talent, but like when it actually matters and you need him to show up, like he seems to not be available. And availability is your best ability. I've always been taught that.
He was better when nobody knew him, I feel like.
Of Spurs.
Yeah.
And that 1 year with the Raptors.
Yeah, he had 2 championships.
What has he done with the Clippers?
Not much, but he's been injured for most of his.
But his hands are big. That matters. I mean,
Joe Burrow.
Allegedly, it does. So, and then another one to look. Potentially be sitting Jordan Poole with the Wizards. He has got extreme volatile scoring. His career since him and Draymond with the Warriors, again, he's not been the same.
When you get knocked out, it changes things for you a little bit.
Especially in the practice with everybody looking. So anyway, be careful with him. I mean, he can swing anything from a 30-point game to a single-digit point game your next. So it's extremely hot or cold. That's the definition of
you
hot or
said
cold.
Swing. I got it.
Washington is in like a development mode, and they've got really nothing much to play for. They're not going to the playoffs, so look for them.
They weren't good as the Wizards or the Bullets. Maybe they ought to just stop.
Or sell the franchise.
We're going to extend the franchise. Let's have more NBA teams that aren't good. Good job.
So with a team that doesn't know really what they're playing for, is really unpredictable rotation. So even him probably one of the bigger names up there that he probably won't play too much these upcoming weeks, or just extremely volatile, like I said.
Yeah, I think that and for me, seeing these guys and hearing your take on those, it helps me with my fantasy, so that that
Your fantasy.
Well, the fantasy. We're talking about fantasy basketball. Yeah. See, got you all talking about those Savannah Bananas. And that's all you can think about.
I took your shirt off.
Pull it down. But, I mean, really, it helps you understand what you got going on. So, but, you know, because you're wearing the orange shirt, are we good to move on? We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on.
No, let's talk about basketball.
We are, but we are. But I want to say this. What do you think about? Seriously, do you think it's going to be McIntyre? Because there's been a lot of people talking about it, and most people have put McIntyre in as the guy. Do you think? Who's the other guy?
Fajon Brandon.
Fajon.
Yeah.
Do you think he's got a shot at all?
Yeah, definitely.
You think so?
Definitely. And I think even if McIntyre wins, there'll be a package for Fajon, regardless. He's apparently that dude. He's apparently super athletic. And I do believe that he will have some type of package within our offense, whether he wins the job or not. I do firmly believe that.
So when's the last time that they rotated in quarterbacks and they won the championship?
Yeah, that typically doesn't work out too great. I'll be quite honest with you. It usually doesn't. I
guess maybe they didn't, but there's a chance. But they didn't really do it at Alabama. It was like kind of forced because Jalen was playing so bad, and then Tua got hurt, so then they brought in Jalen. But I guess the last one would have been Tebow and Chris Leak, right?
Yeah,
that's the last time it's been done.
Right, to be actually work out, yeah.
Yeah, like it actually was a deal that they
And I think they would create a package and some things for him just in case McIntyre doesn't pan out. I mean, you can be a practice quarterback, you can under pressure, but until guys are actually in your face and hitting you and knocking you to the ground, really don't know what's gonna happen, how he's gonna handle all that pressure.
Cardale Jones at Ohio State?
No, he was forced into starting. It wasn't
somebody
a package.
Got injured.
Yeah, they were. JT Barrett was hurt, so that's what happened. He got in. Let's look at CBS Sports' SEC quarterback rankings real quick. Arch Manning, number 1. Y'all agree with that? Trinidad Chambliss at 2. Mm-hmm. Gunnar Stockton at 3. Mm-hmm. Sam Levitt at 4.
Sure.
Well, he's got to prove himself.
But he's already kind of done that. He went to the playoff, and you all but said that team was as good as any team that was playing that
was
year.
2 years ago.
No, I didn't say that.
You were pretty
They took
high.
Texas into overtime, and they deserved to win that game against Texas. And Texas actually showed up the next week against Ohio State.
Let me ask y'all number 5 if this really makes y'all agree with it or not. Byron Brown.
No.
No?
No.
Don't necessarily agree with it.
He's got to prove himself, too.
Lenore Sellers, number 6.
Yeah, I thought that you were going to say him.
Now, if this is on potential, yes.
Number 7, Marcel Reed.
That's why I'm saying Reed needs to be higher than that. There's no way that he's a 6.
Number 8, John Mateer.
Yeah, John
Wait,
Mateer.
he was 7? Reed was 7?
Reed was 7. Mateer's 8. I think Mateer's better than Marcel Reed.
I mean, move Sellers, Reed, and Mateer above Brown.
Here's the shocker for me. Number 9 is Kenny Minchie for Kentucky.
Now, is he the guy that Kentucky stole from Georgia? Or was it Georgia?
Yeah. Another transfer that hasn't proven himself. Now, this is going to be another shocking one. Number 10, Keelan Russell from Alabama. They don't have Mac.
Did he see the field at all?
He didn't
last
see
year?
the field but one time, and it was just cleanup duty after everybody else got to play.
Yeah.
So he was the 4th quarterback they got to play.
I'm assuming none of these other guys have seen the field either. I know Tennessee's guy, I mean, we're 2nd or 3rd to last, so probably on that list.
What about Phylon for Florida?
Well, we got Camario Taylor at Mississippi State. He's number 11. Austin Simmons, who played 2 or 3 games with Ole Miss. He's number 12.
At Missouri.
Yeah. Aaron Philo is number 13.
Okay, that's an insult.
And then number 14, your guy, George McIntyre.
I mean, I agree. The guys that haven't played need to be down there. Prove yourself. I mean, I would worry. And I would disagree wholeheartedly if he was anywhere, halfway up that list or higher, to be quite honest with you.
And then number 15 is KJ Jackson from Arkansas.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And then number 16 is Jared Curtis. So all of these guys that are coming into it, they've got it almost right, but they don't. The thing that I look at, though, is that all of these guys that are being named, whether you put them ahead of each other or not, most of all of these guys, except for 9 through 16 has had significant playing time. I mean, out of the 9 through 16, you're looking at Austin Simmons being the one that's played the most because Phylon didn't play. He didn't play.
Haynes King was starter tech.
Yeah, none of these other guys really started anywhere. Keelan Russell being in the top 10 now, is it talent? Is it there's a possibility? Yeah, I mean, that's true, but he's got to beat out Austin Mack, who's 6'7". I mean, I'm talking about a mountain of a man. I mean, shoot, if he can play halfway as good as he played against Indiana, yeah, I get it. It was halftime. It was past half or whatever. But I just wonder if realistically, if these guys are going to do anything. So everybody's consensus in this room, and James, you can be considered too, that Arch Manning is the number one quarterback coming into the season of the SEC, where we picked him last year at being number one, and he did not perform the way that he was supposed to. So we're going to drive that in again. I mean, we're going to let him be number one again. That's what we're doing.
I won't wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, if I have to pick, why isn't Trinidad number one on that list?
Because he doesn't have Lane Kiffin or the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't have him.
Okay.
Well, the system says that Georgia ends up in SEC championship every year, so Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah.
He's going to win games. He's going to be a winner.
Is there a chance Gunnar Stockton is walking on the stage in New York receiving the Heisman Trophy this year?
I say he gets invited. I think he gets invited.
If he doesn't get hurt, because he plays a very physical style of football. He does not run out of bounds every time. He's got a little bit of an edge to him.
And he didn't have any turnovers last year, so he makes pretty decent decisions, too. I think, if they hold strong, that I don't see any reason for him.
If I had anybody to pick, I'd say he was the one. I mean, obviously he's got the same offensive coordinator. Georgia's gonna have a good defense. They're gonna be hungry.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to score points because he's gonna have 5 stars all around and transfers in now. So I mean, when you look at Georgia, they're gonna be tough. And Gunnar Stockton being a repeat starter in the SEC.
Does Georgia play Tennessee?
Next year?
This year, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up on break.
When we come back, we will discuss all of the NFL news going on. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
We talked a little bit about the Alabama thing the other day. I disagree with Jeff. I think they should be penalized. Those games that kid played, they should be forfeited. I'm sorry. You were a G League player and come back to school. That's just not right. We can't do that. That'd be like Peyton Manning coming back to Tennessee for 6 years,
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community, and advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
The puck stops here. James Fife is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for Orlando Magic basketball right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, is tip-off right after the show. You want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. The Red 7T's phone line is hot and ready to go. Just want to make a quick announcement. Just received a text. One of our guest hosts that comes in every once in a while, the owner of Humbert Diesel, Ty Humbert, him and his wife just gave birth, he didn't, but she did, gave birth to their little baby girl, Millie Lynn. So congratulations to Ty and his wife. And I got some pictures, and, the only thing I would say to Ty is that don't raise that girl to be a Michigan fan. I'll tell you that.
Misery.
Please. But it looks like mommy and baby are in good health, and that's the most important. So congratulations, Ty, you and your wife. And we'll definitely are very proud of you guys. So
maybe they get like a Wolverines hockey outfit for the baby.
Yeah.
That's a hockey school.
Yeah, it's a hockey school. Yeah. Whether basketball school, a couple of years ago, they're football school.
Yeah.
It's making me mad talking about it. Don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, you don't hate Michigan.
I do. I don't like Michigan. I don't love them. I like them better than I do Ohio State.
So
I
find the fact that I dislike Ohio State so much that I actually would side with Michigan.
Yes.
Because of our, our shared interest in hating Ohio State.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I'm on that ship. I'm riding in that boat.
Yeah, so Michigan fans can't say it's us against the world.
Right. No, they got some help.
Because they got help from us.
Yeah, we're there. I mean, we're not,
by default.
Yeah, we're not on the front row, but we're there. We're in, if you need something, we'll help you. We may not swing the bat, but we'll throw you the bat. So there you go. But either way, congratulations to Ty and his family. Beautiful baby girl, and I'm sure he'll be excited about that.
Let me bring up a scenario. I don't know if you, the Cardinals and the Panthers are going to be playing the Hall of Fame Bowl. They were picked today. Okay. And C.J. Stroud, who's the Panther? Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Young is the Alabama quarterback of the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
What if Ty Simpson's at the Cardinals?
Wow.
Having Bama against Bama quarterback, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be something that we've really never seen before because Alabama has not technically in history really produced a lot of NFL quarterbacks.
Is Jalen Hurts, do you consider him to be a Bama guy?
I do, but I don't. So it's like a 50-50 thing with me and him because he did go to Oklahoma. I don't blame him. I think that was the best case scenario for him. The things that he's struggling with right now is the same things that he was struggling at with Alabama. So that's just, just part of the play.
Did he lose a national championship at Bama? Jalen Hurts? To Clemson.
Yes.
To Clemson. Okay.
Yeah, he lost one
to Trevor Lawrence
early.
It must have been Trevor Lawrence in 17, probably.
No. Tua lost to Trevor Lawrence because he was hurt.
Oh.
Jalen might have came in, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But I know that Jalen took us there because he beat the first game of the season of Jalen's Hurts' freshman year. Alabama played a Sam Darnold USC-led team that Jalen Hurts did not start in. Blake Barnett started, was doing not so good. Jalen Hurts came in, and the rest was history. Yeah, so, but yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right. When you look at it, would be a really cool thing to see. The big news that hit today was that the trade has been agreed on between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Rams. Kansas City traded cornerback Trent McDuffie, which is an all-pro. I mean, just a great defensive player, which everybody has always talked about Sean McVay not being a defensive-minded coach. Well, here you go. He gets a defensive stud. Now, check out what the Chiefs got for him. First-round pick for this year.
Whoa.
Fifth-round pick, a sixth-round pick, and a 2027 third-round pick. So they got 4 picks.
1, 3, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot, man.
So that means the Chiefs are going to get 2 first-round draft picks this year. For this year's draft, they'll get their normal one and they'll get their second one. Any chance the Chiefs combine those 2 picks together, send it to the Raiders, and pick Mendoza?
No, absolutely not. Not happening. No.
Mahomes probably not going to be ready for the first 4 or 5 games.
Really?
I mean, it's going to be a minute. I don't think he's coming back full strength right off the gate. Which is the same thing about Danny Dimes. Again, we talked about it yesterday. They transition franchise tagged him, so it's a little different. He can test the market and see whether or not they're going to give him better deals out. Do you think $30 million is too much for Danny Jones?
Depends on how many seasons it is. I'm fine with it for, like, say, 1 or 2. But I still want to see a little bit more prove it because he didn't give me a full season last year, even though he did look really, really good.
The mindset, though, is that it's 1 year, $30 million is what the Indianapolis Colts are looking at. They're hoping that there's not a lot of value. And if you look across the board, outside of what he did last year, realistically, Daniel Jones has not been great. Yes, he had a great year last year. 1 season that was cut short due to injury. Now he's another one. When you tear your Achilles, when you snap your Achilles like he did, if you remember that was pretty grotesque. You could see his the tendon pop up. But he's going to be out for at least 4 or 5 games going into this season. So you're going to have those first 4 or 5 games that he's going to have to be lights out when he comes back. There's not going to be a lot of room to, knock the rust off because, you're going to be 6, 7, 8 games into the season and playoffs, you're going to have to go. So.
Yeah, what he missed like 3.5 games last year, and then they didn't miss the playoffs because of that. The window was really, it's that tight.
But who would you take? What team realistically is going to offer? To me, you're thinking the Cardinals, you're thinking the Miami Dolphins.
The Raiders,
but
the Raiders have the money.
The Raiders, they're going to go with the draft pick. They're still got time. There's still more time to trade and do all the things. Even with Max Crosby, you could involve Max Crosby and that first round pick for something else. But I'm just saying, man, really, Daniel Jones, he must think he's worth more than $30 million a year because I think that's what the number is for the Colts to offer him.
So I'm not sure who's advantaged with the 1 year contract. I guess the Colts, but they don't have him locked down. What if he does pan out for 1 year? And then, then you might lose him, basically.
You know what the greatest tragedy for teams that have quarterbacks that have the, what I would call the possibility or the potential?
What?
Is what happened with Sam Darnold this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
with him turning his career around and being what he has been, that's why they're going to overreach and spend money on these guys that are older, and they're not going to catch lightning in the bottle, and it's going to set them back 2 or 3 years because they're going to put all their money into these guys.
And let's talk about the money. Okay, 102 or 105, whatever Sam Darnold signed for.
Yeah.
For 3 years, you average that out. It's what, 34 or 35 million? And you're going to give 30 to a guy who he won 1 playoff game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they moved him to safety for the Giants practice squad when he was there the last year that he was there because he wasn't that good. Yeah, he was playing safety for the practice squad. So there you go for that. Another news that we got to discuss is Stefan Diggs. 1 year with the Patriots, and he's gone. Mike Vrabel says, we'll see you later. Why?
Well, Vrabel probably doesn't like his mouth.
He's not as mouthy on the field. He just requires attention because he wants the ball. Now, he's as good as they come.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets open. He's a good player. Do you think it has anything to do with some of the stuff that goes on outside of the, him and Cardi B were together. They're not together. He's got 6 or 7 children with all these different people that are saying, hey, you owe me money. And now he's going to child support court, I think. So you think that was a distraction?
Look, the Patriots have never wanted to be in the headlines.
So with that being said, do you think it's going to be, I know, James, you're a Titan fan, A.J. Brown, is he going to step over and go back with his old coach and be at the Patriots? Come on, Jimmy, what do you think?
I say no, because the Patriots really don't have too long of a history of going out and getting those free agent wide receivers outside of, say, like a Randy Moss.
Once.
It's just not their MO to build that way. I think they're going to spend more money on defense, really, than I think I'm going to see them spending on offense, because I think they're really going to work with May and try to find him a target he also wants to work with.
So the Philadelphia Eagles, they are looking more for a Quinnen Williams type deal, which is a first round and a second round pick in exchange for his services. So they're looking right now. They act like they're not, but they are. There's definitely a problem in the Eagles locker room, especially with him and Jalen Hurts. If you remember the Super Bowl year, winning makes a lot of things go away. And when they started winning, he was like, oh, yeah, me and Jalen, we're great. But the week before he was like, throw me the ball. He can't throw the ball. All he wants to do is run the ball. And then the next thing you know, they start winning. Then they win a Super Bowl, and it's like, oh, yeah, me and Jalen best friends, right? But then they didn't make it last year. They lost last year, and now AJ is throwing different signs, different things. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bills inquire about AJ, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots did go back and get him. And let me tell you why. With losing Stefan Diggs, they're going to need somebody, because if you watch them play, Drake May is going to need somebody besides Kayshon Boutte. They're going to need somebody. I don't think the draft this year is a very heavy draft. And really, when you look at it, there's not a lot of big-time wide receivers that are on their last year of their deal or causing trouble there.
Yeah, you're right. Who's the guy, Shaheed? That went from the Saints to the Seahawks?
Yeah.
I think he's up for
but he's not a number one type guy. They don't have a number one top guy. And I guess the only thing I can say about what y'all were talking about earlier with the fact of the Patriots doing that, it's a difference when you have Tom Brady at the helm. Drake May, as good as he might have been, he's not there yet. He needs some help. He needs somebody that's going to know how to get open, know how to run routes, and he's going to have to require to be he needs a wide receiver one to be effective.
You think the Broncos have a better shot at making it back to the big time than the Patriots?
It just depends. It depends on the health of Bo Nix. Yeah. If Bo Nix is really not as bad as he says he is, then yeah, I think they'll have an opportunity because I think both of them have the desire to win, and you got to think that, Sean Payton knows what he's doing. That's one thing about it. One more thing that we got to look at for the last part of the it's that the Rams own first-round draft pick, and every year they've traded their first-round draft pick except for 2024. So from 2017 until 2026, they've only used their draft pick one time. They've always traded their draft pick. It's been successful for them, so we will keep an eye on that. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit about the World Baseball Classic, college basketball, and everything in between. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, college basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Wednesday.